Okay.
92.
But feel free anytime.
All right, thank you.
Okay, executive session's over, there was no decisions made.
Just
We're
briefly.
back into session, and Eric,
You may have heard the noise, but the Next Tech guys are here to start doing the cabling project. They'll be here all week. Next week, they'll start the phone project, so
Okay,
just giving you the heads up.
we're going from AT&T to Nextech, is that correct?
AT&T is still going to provide the fiber circuit to the building, because no
Okay.
one else wants to do that, so. But the actual phone system is provided by Next Tech, so
Okay.
separate but the same kind of. So
And Motorola's doing your work now, is that it?
on
You said somebody's here doing work?
Next Tech.
Nextech, okay.
They're essentially cleaning up the existing cable, taking all the new runs to the different offices. It'll just clean it up, make it look nicer. Just
More
what we-
effective?
Yeah. And preparing for the next phone system is what they're really doing. So, and that should start next week. I think Jerry said he's planning on being here the 16th since we'll be open. So
Okay.
I think that's really. I just want to give you a heads up if you see him running around. So.
Do you know, or could you ask, is there any feasible way that they could bill each department separately, like clusters of numbers?
I think the plan was is just to let the clerk break it out. It'll be better than what we had, I promise. We won't just get a scratch of this is what you owe.
Well, I thought if they could even just take a page break at each phone number so that they could just give them the
The phone numbers don't have a charge. It'll just be the long distance charges. And the only way you're going to have long distance charges would be fax machines calling out. So other than that, you shouldn't have any long distance. So
we do a lot of that though.
you're going to have a lot of charges then. That'll continue on AT&T and POTS line. So scanning emails the cheapest. So. Like the individual phone, the whole system will have a charge, and we'll just break it out. Number of phones per office. I think that's probably the way they said they can break it out that way, but it's really a mess. So maybe we'll just see how they. We can ask them to do something. They're pretty easy to work with, so that'd be my thought.
What you're wanting to break out the phone bill?
Well, we don't do it, but in the clerk's office where they pay the bills, they just get one big bill, and then they would, they used to make photocopies of each of our bills and then write a total for each of the phone numbers, but now we just get a piece of paper with an amount on it. We get that, so we don't really have anything to go on what's being used in our office. My phone bill tripled this last year.
Yeah.
The last
Phone
6
bills
months,
got outrageous.
and I sure didn't budget for that.
Yeah, nobody
We use
did.
a lot of long distance calling, state help and stuff.
And the new phone system will basically eliminate the long distance issue. So,
Sounds like you got it under control.
well, I'd like to hope. That was the plan anyways. Tremendous savings in just long distance would eventually, I think we projected about 2.5 years of pay for the system itself, so.
Just in your savings from what you have?
Yeah, the county was paying, when we started looking at this in March, we were paying about $3,600 in long distance alone each month. And that's not okay. That is unacceptable in my opinion. And that at that time was $1 a minute. We're up to about $2.85 right now.
Excuse me.
And we try to use cell phones as much as we can,
Right.
for long distance calls.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Dave,
thank
did you have something
But in
else?
your personal ones?
What?
Or your
Personal cell
personal
phone?
cell phones?
Well, yeah.
But using your personal cell phone for work automatically makes that a public phone. If anything should ever happen.
She's right.
Everything on that phone becomes public.
Public.
If it ever goes
Subject
out.
to inspection. I've heard that through the Kansas Highway Patrol. Anytime you use your personal phone for any kind of business-related calls, that now is a public phone, subject to
Subpoena.
subpoenaed, well, it doesn't even have to be subpoenaed.
In-
Everything that's on that phone now belongs to the public.
Personal and business.
Yes.
So you telling me stop doing that?
No, I'm just
Depends on
telling
what
you
you
the
got.
information.
We're telling you, don't tell people.
Why
Kelly just got this report. This is probably what you want to see, a little more. And we got some payroll issues we got to address, you just told me. Some errors there.
So you still have 20% of your budget.
Yes. And that's after we do 100,000 transfer to the special machinery. We projected 200,000 towards equipment. I backed that off to 100, so therefore let's have that remaining balance after we finish paying bills roll over into the special road improvements fund. And that's what's kind of an open thing where we can use that money.
Okay.
And then we have the special machinery fund also. The bridge building budget, 2 years ago, the auditors did away with that fund, and they lumped that into the road and bridge. So,
They just took it out of the line item.
well, they actually had a separate budget just for bridge building.
Well, there was capital improvement, and I'm gonna get you a copy of all of the spreadsheets, but they had just a capital improvement, the airport, road and bridge, and there was another one in there that,
Landfill.
landfill, and they removed landfill a long time ago. Then they put, our auditors last year, when they did the audit, they said they just separated it out. So they asked me to move it, bridge building and multi-year capital improvement over into the special road improvement, gives them a much broader use of that money. It's not so restricted as it was in the equipment reserve or special machinery, so.
Okay.
And part of, I think, some of my multi-year capital improvement fund was
Yeah.
utilized on the airport, and
Well,
that's the reason this
yeah.
one got separated a little more
Our
distinct
past
now.
auditor was the idea that if once money went into a capital improvement fund or equipment reserve fund, it was an open pool.
It was what?
An open pool.
Oh, for anybody to use?
Yeah, well, our new auditors are not that way.
So therefore, we're trying to deplete this bridge building account to where we get it to zero someday, and then we'll be done with it completely. But it's a carryover till it is spent. And then, even this special road improvement money, I'm able to utilize that towards bridges also. So. Something different for you, Ed, when I do road work now. You know how we used to have that road T-117 or 120? We're doing away with that. FEMA caused us a lot of nightmare. By the way, FEMA, we had that hard rain September 3rd last year. We had to do a boatload of paperwork to get them satisfied. They're hopefully going to be up here tomorrow and get that exit agreement done. And we're going to collect some money back on that. But they couldn't figure out this T-120 or whatever, our road number system. So then when you see them, like it said here, T7 and T19, well, that's our old road number system. The new one's going to be like this W and 3 through 4. So you can look on your 911 address map and then figure it out now.
Right.
Before, I would tell them where we was gravel and things like that. Okay?
I
And,
just ask, I say, whose place was your gravel?
right. But this would clarify that a little closer. The other thing is, if somebody wants to know when the road was bladed, we could actually pin that right down. We could avoid a railroad issue when we got sued on them a few years ago. If we'd had that specified what certain mile we was blading and stuff like that.
What's that do for your paperwork now? Do you have to write down every mile when you change?
It's going to be more on the roadside, but it's going to be worth it for records, I think. So,
Yeah, but it's gonna take the guy half a day to do the damn paperwork, and he ain't gonna get nothing else done.
well, no, I mean, it doesn't take you long. In fact, last couple of years, Mike and Marlon's been doing it because their territories are pretty well square anyway. And then they would just say, you know, like Bladen Road 15 from I to Q or something
You
like
don't
that.
have to write down every.
No, just that distance that you bladed that day. So,
Gotcha.
or gravel and whatever. Just bring you up to speed on Keller Pond. I think we're about done with that project. We was supposed to remove the cattails on that and clean out that east pond, which I wasn't aware of, but we have some crane work we'll have to do on some warmer weather on the Keller Pond. But we've hauled most of that material off. And then they're gonna have a contractor come in and do the walking path that we just have to haul the material to there.
And that's our only commitment to that
It's our
project?
commitment to that, yes. And then the city's gonna reimburse us on that part. I give them a bid on that.
So what was the deal on this Keller Pond? I don't understand it.
Rodney will be able to tell you a little more. I guess they had trouble with these cattails, and then they're going to improve this as a walking path and more of a recreational setup. And these cattails was getting so invasive that they couldn't fish or anything like that, and they couldn't use chemical to get rid of it because it'd kill all the fish and everything like that. So then that's the reason we had to come in and.
So part of the Keller Pond project that, there are several different entities involved in this thing, but they got some grant money to make improvements out there. For instance, Cheyenne County Wildlife put fencing up out there to fence off the pasture versus, and each city puts so much in for maintenance of the trails, and then the county puts so much in, but it's been going on for a couple of years now.
Yeah, probably time flies, yeah.
And
And then I take it back. We're supposed to try to do something to rebuild the bridge too, across walking
the
bridge
existing
across.
one?
Yeah.
there was talk at one time about putting another bridge in back towards the south, so people that wanted to walk the loop wouldn't have to get up on the road to come by.
But that's just going to be a plank one like we have on the north
Right.
end. But I'm talking, which we'll probably wind up doing that too. But just rebuilding the bridge across the ponds right now.
Oh, I see that bridge, the one over at the ponds.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Stringers are getting rotted pretty bad on
Yeah.
the abutments.
Yeah, okay.
So. One other thing, when he said, "Do you know any surprises?" We leased 2 tractors at $10 an hour, up to 250 hours. We like everything about these New Holland tractors except the brakes, and they've had ripped the disc out of one of them, and Yost has been good about staying, with the warranty and stuff like that on it. But there's no power brakes. That's one thing we dislike about the tractor. But I'm going to drive it. They think now if you step on both brakes hard, it locks up it engages the front axle. So if you step on them hard, it slides all 4 of them. But there's no power. You got to push pretty hard on them. So I'm going to need to drive them, see if we're going to be satisfactory with them. So.
Are you saying you leased them with an option to purchase?
With an option to purchase. But when we leased them, they was pretty well bare bones the way we wanted it. We didn't have a lot of frills or anything like that, and that's the reason they wanted to make, pretty sure we was going to take it. I said we would if we don't have any safety issues. That's what concerns me the most.
And brakes would be a safety issue.
Yes, it would be. So,
This is the purchase price of them?
yes.
So they took off the lease hour? Or
No, we
hours?
still have to pay the lease hours, and then the warranty starts when we make the payment on another additional 2 years on it.
How many hours are on it?
We got like 240 on one, and I think 220 some on the other one.
They're new. basically.
Yeah, we got them, I think, last, I'm guessing it would have been May or June.
You got any trouble with eating?
What's that?
Any trouble with eating on them? Eating up?
No. No, everything else been good with them.
Is that just informational? Is that what you?
Informational, yeah. I need to find out about these breaks this week. Well, it's warm weather, see what we're gonna do on that, so. I know the handbook was on the agenda. I would like to have departments look at the final before it's approved of, if we may. Request.
Again, from what I know, it's in the county attorney's hands. She was supposed to proofread it, reread it, and approve it.
Well, I'll give you guys a copy so you can check it over. Have you got
And
one?
that hasn't been done yet.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's all I'm requesting, see if there's something
Last
we'd
year.
like to improve or something on that,
Because I
so.
said, we ain't doing this shit again.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I got. Again. Sorry about that.
Well, I don't believe there's anything else on the agenda. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, I think we can bring this meeting to a close.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.